Anish, thanks for joining. I love doing these little videos and excited to have you on today. For those who don't know who Anish is, what's the elevator pitch on who you are and what you do?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Kate. I'm Dr. Anish Kapur. I'm a physician by training, but I've been a tech entrepreneur pretty much my entire career, and I'm currently the CEO of Promptly. We are a patient experience, patient engagement platform that looks to unify all the workflows when it comes to patient engagement, making it an all-in-one, one-stop shop for everything that you need outside of your EMR and your practice management system.
Honestly, I forget all the time that you are actually a physician by training.
Yeah, right.
I that I think I heard it one other time, and I just know you as promptly. So what did you train in? I don't even know that.
Oh, I was internal medicine.
No
But
way.
yeah, like right after that, so as soon as I got done, then I started working honestly on building an ophthalmology EMR system. So, I mean, I went right
Crazy.
into tech and I didn't go back. Yeah.
Cool. That's a whole story on its own that we'll have to cover
Oh yeah.
sometime.
Yeah.
So, what role do you think technology has as it relates to the patient experience, or does it? You hear people talk about patient experience all the time in terms of your lobby and communication and all those kinds of things. But what kind of impact does technology have on the patient experience?
I mean, I think at this point in where we are, it has everything to do with it. I mean, you've got to meet the patients where they are, right? And where are they? They're online, they're on their phones, they're and you have to make things simple, right? I think we are far gone, hopefully far gone from the days of sending people in the mail a packet of forms and telling them to fill it out and bring it in with them, right? I mean, like people are used to things being quick, easy, delivered in a way that's can be digestible, and getting through these things without having a bunch of different roadblocks and without having a lot of manual input. And frankly, that's what's going to give a better patient experience, and it's going to create better throughput at the practice itself.
Hmm.
So I mean, like without those kind of pieces, and without getting in front of patients, even something as simple as recalling them and reminding them and making sure that patients know, hey, listen, if you're due for your care, like just simple things like that,
Hmm.
patients aren't going to be able to track, but like they're pretty easy to set up and automate.
It's interesting. When you think of all the different ways technology touches the patient from the very first time they connect with the practice all the way through consult, procedure, post-op, billing, like all the different things within the patient journey. What are a few of the more important kind of steps in that process that you think are most important to leverage technology, or is it all equally important?
I think like throughout the journey, keeping that patient looped into what's going on is important. I mean, even from when they're just thinking about their care. I mean, like from the CRM aspect, and to have like people like making sure that they're following up on leads, or that
Hmm.
you have a service that follows up on your leads that like make sure that they I don't know, maybe there's a great one out there, who knows. And like working like through that, like that gives the patient a really great impression of like what kind of experience they're going to have, right? And then like, are you making it easy? Can they schedule online, right? Can they are you reminding them when they need to get care, even after their visit, if they need to be seen in a year or so? Are you making sure that like nobody's slipping through the cracks? Are you making sure that like to pay their bill, they don't have to like wait for a paper statement, and they don't have to like know the account number and call somebody during work hours and all these things? Like we don't accept those kind of workflows in any other aspect of our lives. We just don't like if there's a reason why like the Uberization of things has happened, and there's a reason why we've like moved to this technology first like world, and everything being readily available. I mean, during this conversation right now, if I could take my phone out and order food and a car and that, but like at a lot of medical practices, I can't make an appointment without calling them during the work hours, and that just doesn't make any sense to me. So I think that as we evolve as a society, like we should make sure that healthcare is is being caught up with, because we're letting like something that's so important lag behind when it comes to tech, when really it should be the forefront.
Mm. What barriers do you and your team find exist within practices who are resistant to technology? Like, what are some of the common things you see in terms of objections or barriers or issues that would prevent practices from adopting a more kind of patient centric technology experience?
I think it comes from like really two aspects. One, on the practice side, I think the number one thing that we hear is, well, you know, uh, this is the way that we do things, right? This is the way we've always done things. Like this is the way we've always done things, that I think is the hardest piece, uh, that practices need to get past, because change is hard, right? And it is. And if anyone says that, hey, implementing a enterprise level uh, technology platform in your practice is going to be easy, they're lying to you. No matter
Yeah,
how easy somebody says it is, it's not going to be. And there's going to be some bumps and bruises, and there's going to be some things that need to be whiteboarded and shifted, and you're going to really need to understand the goals of the project that you're trying to achieve. But when you put that like work in, and you solidify all of that, the dividends that it pays are just extraordinary. And then I
mm,
think the other aspect that some of these practices think is that, oh, my patients aren't ready for this, right? Especially within some of the particular healthcare markets, they say, oh, my patients are older, they're the Medicare patients, and they're not going to care about being able to access things online, and uh, you know and they're and to have this like latest and greatest kind of like technology, like. And I think that that's wrong, and
mm,
we've seen that it's wrong, because like patients are savvy, and it doesn't matter where they are. It doesn't matter like what age group they are. Especially the last few years, everyone's had a crash course. There are certain things that you cannot do without being able to go online or access something through a tablet, a phone, or your computer. And I think when you make things simple enough, really anybody can achieve it. I mean, like a lot of times, frankly, we call it our grandparents test, in
mm,
which we literally will like adapt something like let's say a check-in system, and then give it to our team's grandparents. I say,
mm.
just give it to them, and if they have any questions, that means we need to make some tweaks. If they don't have
Mm.
any questions and they get through it without saying a word, we're
That's
on to
awesome.
something.
Yeah, what
It's
an
true,
effective way to yeah, yeah,
right? Yeah.
100%. Yeah, it's like
Well, sorry,
people
after you
think
get past how do I turn the iPad on? That
right.
question you can answer there. And then from there, then you're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Okay, so there's a lot of moving parts out of practice, lots of different technology applications, lots of different options. When a practice is kind of evaluating, the most important technology or in what order to do it, what approach do you encourage people to consider? I mean, typically you can't do everything at once.
Right.
You even mentioned how hard the process, typically is. And so if you were encouraging a practice to kind of like somewhere they should start, in your own mind, where would that be for a practice who's kind of ready to kind of move in the right direction from a technology adoption standpoint?
Yeah, I think that really going to categorize it into two places, right? One is um where are our pains? Like what are we missing, right? Like, okay, we don't have the bandwidth to pick up the phone or call people back when it comes to reminder recalls, or we don't have the we're not getting the throughput, or we have these new doctors who have empty schedules, or when people
Mm,
cancel, nobody has time to fill the spots, right? That
mm,
stuff I think is a kind of the first piece. And then because pain is always something that people want to address, right? Because you're hearing complaints from your staff, patients, and so on. And then I would say the second category of that is going to be gain, right? Like, okay, what are we doing that works today, that works, well, but could be better, right? Okay, when it comes to making sure that our patients, like, we're checking their insurance, and eligibility way in advance. Are we making sure that we have the most accurate information? Are we collecting um, payments up front because we know how much of the deductible is remaining, right? Like those kind of processes, like a wish list kind of thing, is also really important, because some of that might be easily solved.
mm,
And then, frankly, I think the most important piece about like when trying to evaluate like what to do is to find out what the different technology partners in the market like who they are, what they believe, and what they're trying to achieve with
Mm,
their practices. Because I think that says a lot. I mean, you can do. I think if your product is something that is, is going to be viable in the market, there's going to be competitors and there's going to be people who can do what you do, be it one for one or be it, okay, you might need two or three solutions together to equal another one. But at the same time, like it's about that technology partner and like how that long-term partnership is going to go versus like just the nuts and bolts and the software and the platforms themselves.
I love it. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Anish, thanks for doing this today. I really, really enjoy, talking to you and listening to how you think about things. It's always encouraging to me. If someone's not following you online or wanted to connect with you online, what's the best way for them to do so?
Through LinkedIn, you can just find me through LinkedIn. That's probably the easiest, or shoot me an email. It's just my name at promptlycheckin.com. Or yeah, just through our website.
Cool. That's awesome. Anish, thanks, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Cade.